Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Amiel Duncan, and today I'm going to continue our educational series. Today, we are going to be discussing ITINs. So, ITINs, individual taxpayer identification numbers. Once again, we are a part of two clinics. We have our first clinic, the VITA, which is volunteer income tax assistance. Our clinic director is going to be Masood, and then he's the clinic director of both clinics. And then I am the director of outreach for the low income taxpayer clinics, also known as Taxpayers Help Center. So, ITIN, what is an ITIN? ITIN is the individual taxpayer identification numbers, which are tax processing numbers. Since 1996, the IRS has issued ITINs to certain residents and non resident aliens, their spouses, or dependents so that they can comply with federal tax laws. Listed below, as you can see, is a screen grab of what the application for an I-10 looks like, the W-7. But we will get more into that later in the presentation. What is an I-10? I-10 applicants require a taxpayer ID number for federal tax purposes, but are ineligible for Social Security number. ITINs are formatted like a social security number, but they all begin with the number 9, whereas a social security number can start with any number. If anyone on a tax return is applying for an I-10, the return must be paper filed. No electronic filing for new applications or renewals. So all applications and renewals must be done by paper, written by hand, no electronic filing, no electronic signatures are allowed for these applications or renewals. And once again, if you look down below at the screen grab, you can see that I-10 stands for Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. So what an I-10 is not. So I-10s do not entitle the recipient to Social Security benefits. I-10s do not change the holder's immigration status. I-10s also do not grant individuals the right to work in the US. And I-10s may not be used as an I-9 form or a W-2. And lastly, I-10s do not entitle the holder to all tax benefits of those filing with Social Security numbers. So, one thing about I-10s and Social Security benefits is that although they both are numbers that identify the person when they are filing for taxes, with the I-10, you do not get the same benefits as you do for Social Security numbers. And with an I-10, they do not change, speed up, withhold your immigration status, and they cannot be used for W-2s, I-9 forms, for applying for new jobs. Tax law versus immigration law. A resident alien for tax purposes is not the same as a legal permanent resident, LPR, under immigration laws. Tax obligations may apply regardless of whether an alien is lawfully present in the US. The IRS uses a substantial presence test to determine whether one is considered a resident. For tax purposes, not all I-10 holders are unlawfully present. So listed here below, just like the previous couple slides, is another screen grab of what the W-7 application would look like. I know the first picture to my left is going to be a little blurry, so I'm going to go ahead and use my mouse right here. If you guys can see, everything listed in red right here is the general information that one would fill out when they do apply for an I-10 number. And then listed below is just minimal information that will also be needed. But everything right here in the red is pretty much the main shebang. The application process for ITIN numbers. ITIN applications, including renewals, must be paper filled or filed, no electronic filing. The applicant must file Form W-7 with required documents showing foreign status and true identity. While there are 13 listed documents on the application, an unexpired passport is the only standalone document proving both foreign status and identity. Processing times can take 11 weeks and more, um, especially during the filing season. So it's important to know that this application process it does not have like a speedy turnaround. It does take time to process all of the information. So that's something that you do want to keep in mind. The application must demonstrate a federal tax purpose seeking the I-10, most often by attaching a 1040. Dependents applying for I-10s must show an allowable tax benefit. A certifying acceptance agent, CAA, may identify foreign status documents obviating the need for sending originals to the IRS. ITIN applicants must prove identity and foreign status. Here are the acceptable documents. So, like I said previously, there are 13 of these documents. Number one, the first one, passport, once again, is the only standalone document that's going to provide pretty much everything if it's expired. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services photo identification, visa issued by U.S. Department of State, U.S. driver license, the U.S. military ID card, foreign driver's license, as well as a foreign military ID card. National ID card must contain name, photo, address, date of birth, and expiration. A U.S. state ID card will also work. Civil birth certificate required for dependents under the age of 13, or excuse me, under the age of 18. Foreign voter registration card will also be accepted. Medical records valid for dependents only under 6 years of age. And lastly, school records, and these are for dependents only under 18 if they are a student. So documents must not be expired with the exception of the passport. Two documents needed, one with photograph. In lieu of sending original documents, a CAA can authenticate identity foreign status documents with a face-to-face meeting and a certificate of accuracy, COA form. For dependents only, the passport birth certificate may be certified. Other supporting documents must be original and certified copies. So here is another blurry picture of kind of like the ITIN packet. So there will be, I believe, a couple more things that you might have to fill out for this packet, but listed over here, you could see the 1040. That will need to be filled out. The SS4, which will need to be filled out. And then the W7, which I have shown you guys already, will also need to be filled out. So ITINs expirations. Any ITIN that wasn't included on a U.S. federal tax return at least once for 3 consecutive tax years, will expire on December 31st of the 3rd consecutive tax year of non-use. ITINs with middle digits, so 70 to 88, have expired. In addition, ITINs with the middle digits 90 to 99, if assigned before 2013, have also expired. These affected taxpayers who accept to file a tax return in 2024 must submit a renewal application. If a renewal application was previously submitted and approved, The applicant does not need to renew again. Now, if you are unsure whether you fall under this category of having your ITIN number expired, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. You are more than welcome to reach out to us. Sorry about that. You're more than welcome to reach out to us. We are certified, we are CAAs, certified acceptance agents as well. So we could definitely help you with that. We have history, we have success stories. So, and we're here to help and we want to help. So, definitely stick around, or at the end of this presentation, you can get our website, phone number, and an email to contact us. So, ITINs for spouses or dependents. Spouses or dependents are not eligible for an ITIN unless they qualify for an allowable tax benefit. Children. Taxpayer owes income tax, but by including their dependent child may qualify for the credit of other dependents and reduce it by up to $500, which is a non-refundable credit. I-10 application may need additional documentation, example, medical or school records with original signatures, for minors under 18 without proof of entry date on their passports. And for spouses, taxpayers can get the benefit of the higher standard deduction if spouse obtains an I-10 and they file jointly, including spouses outside the US. But note that making election to be considered tax resident has tax implications, such as being taxed on worldwide income. Also, unmarried domestic partners, if otherwise eligible, can be included as dependents and apply for an I-10. Timing of I-10s, no back filing for credits. While most taxpayers have 3 years from tax return due date to claim a credit refund, immigrant taxpayers and their dependents need to have their TINs taxpayer identification numbers by the tax year's filing due date and any extensions. So the I-10 application date is also going to be your issuance date. So taxpayer identification number requirement, you must have the TIN number by the due date of your return. Note that many mixed status families regrettably missed out on the historic 2021 credit enhancements under the American Rescue Plan Act. Efforts to permanently extend these valuable supports to needy families were unsuccessful. So it's important that you want to make sure to file and renew your ITIN number so you don't miss out on these benefits. Filing extensions. For those with pending immigration cases who are awaiting a Social Security number, if the Social Security number is likely to be issued soon, but perhaps not before the tax filing due date, you should file for an extension. This will automatically be granted to October 15th, 2024, if I'm not mistaken, as this will preserve your right to claim certain credits. Now, those credits that you want to claim with an ITIN number include child tax credit, credit for other dependents, child and dependent care credit, recovery rebate credit, American Opportunity Credit, and lifetime learning credit. So these are the credits that you can claim when you do have an ITIN number, which is why, again, it's important to apply for your ITIN number and to renew your ITIN number. And then ITIN holders are taxpayers. So all wage earners, even those lacking work authorization, are subject to US tax requirements on their income. A non-citizen is treated for tax purposes as a resident and subject to tax if they are legal permanent residents, green card, or physically present in the US under the IRS substantial presence test. Immigrant ITIN holders paid an estimate 23.6 billion in total taxes in the year 2015, as an example. And ITIN holders sometimes file returns under the ITIN with attached forms W-2 showing erroneous Social Security numbers. This creates an ITIN Social Security number mismatch. If the taxpayer regularizes their immigration status in the future, they can generally transfer their earning records to the correct Social Security number. Undocumented workers pay billions of dollars in Social Security mismatch from payroll taxes, and many will never see a benefit. So it's important to make sure that all of the information that is being entered is correct so nothing is mismatched. So that way, no one's missing out on any benefits. Barriers to tax filing. Immigrants are often eager to enter the tax system but need more help due to fear and misinformation. So, outreach and reassurance is needed for making it clear it's safe to apply for ITIN numbers. Taxpayer privacy is a basic tenet of our tax system. The IRS may not release information to other government agencies except to provide Treasury with information for tax administration investigations or under a federal court order for criminal investigations. Once again, ITINs are not immigration enforcement tools. Therefore, your information is safe with us. You can trust us. All taxpayers have rights, and we honor your rights. Language barriers. So we are honestly a trilingual um, organization. We have people that speak Spanish, Hindu, etc. And we also do help a lot of people where English is their second language. So we want you to know that no matter who you are, what language you speak, you can always come to us and feel safe. We also do take volunteers. If you or anyone you know who is willing to volunteer, that would also be lovely as well. So, in summary, ITINs are IRS assigned numbers issued for only federal tax purposes. ITINs provide means to purpose tax returns and payments for those not eligible for Social Security numbers. You want to apply for your ITIN with the W-7 and documents substantiating proof of identity and foreign status, certificate of accuracy, and most often a tax return, all paper filed, no electronic filing with IRS. An ITIN does not alter one's immigration status, constitute work authorization, or entitle the holder to Social Security benefits. And lastly, ITIN filers cannot claim the Earned Income Tax Credit. Children with ITIN numbers do not qualify for Earned Income Tax Credit or CTC, but they do qualify for the MA Child Independent Credit. Thank you for listening to my presentation on ITIN numbers. I hope this was helpful and useful for some of you. Better if it was all of you. Here below, you will see our phone number, 818-366-0111. You can email me at amieltd@taxpayershelpcenter.com, or you can email us at info, INFO, at taxpayershelpcenter.com. Listed below, you will see our website, www.taxpayershelpcenter.com, as well as our Facebook listed Taxpayer Help Center Incorporation, a nonprofit organization. Thank you all for listening. Once again, my name is Amiel. I hope this helped, and I can't wait for the next one. Bye-bye.